random order has determined that Raul Sanchez will answer first. So the question is, year after year, one of the biggest issues that the Student Advocates Office faces is how to inform the student body of its services. How would you publicize the office differently than has been tried before? So I'd like to invite you to come up to the podium.
Sure.
And you will have 2 minutes. Go.
Since I've been speaking to people for the past 2 weeks, nobody has told me that they know what the student office does. I've spoken to one person who works in the office and tells me that they get about 1 walk-in per day. And then I asked him, so it doesn't sound like you do much. And he told me, nope, we don't. And that means nobody is coming to this office. I propose being out there all the time. I want to reach out initially during orientation, any initial contact that students have with the school, and let them know that this office is there for them. It is there to be like a liaison between the students and the administration. At least it should be. And I mean, it just needs to be out there. Invite them to come in. I'm just going to encourage them to come and see me first when anything happens, because I mean, in other places on campus, they get like referred to links that are most likely broken and whatnot. Like, I will be out there doing the best to I mean, encourage people to voice what they rightfully should be expressing to everybody.
Okay. Great, thank you. So after they've answered both their questions. Okay? And so now, you set this, and
Okay, great. So just want to, I've been in the office for 3 years now, so full disclosure. Talking about what I'd like to do involves a lot of what I've done in the past. I serve as the Chief of Staff currently to the current student advocate, Kelly Fabian. So to just first of all, to answer what Raul brought up, we do get more than 1 walk-in per day, so just to clarify that, and I don't want to sound like I'm defending that, but we do end up with about over 100 cases every semester that we handle via walk-in or via emails as well. So I do feel like that's a little bit of misrepresentation, but I do understand that our visibility on campus, the Student Advocate's Office, is not as high as a lot of the other executive offices. Part of that is because the work that the office does is confidential, so it's hard to advertise that. However, I do propose 3 different ways in which I would like to increase the visibility of the office. The first of which is through preventative measures. That's something that doesn't need to be confidential. We can go out and put on workshops that teach people how to prevent the very issues that they get involved with that can cause trouble, such as putting together workshops on financial aid so you file for financial aid correctly to begin with, putting together workshops on how to avoid getting into academic dishonesty situations, and also creating awareness around the campus and communities that are targeted in student conduct issues. The second idea I have in mind would be to do point of target publicity. It's hard to advertise on Sproul to say, hey, if you get in trouble with the campus, come to us, because people don't really care about it until they're actually in trouble. So I want to make sure that the Student Advocate's Office's material is available in all the areas where students usually go when they are in trouble. So that means the Center for Student Conduct, Financial Aid Office, all the academic offices, and any general, like UCPD and any other area like that. The final area that I want to work at is the policy side of things, and advocating on a broad range of structural policies that affect the students. In that area, we can really publicize that work and increase the visibility of the office and engage the entire campus in that dialogue. Thank you.
okay, would you like to respond to, would either of you like to kind of give a 1-minute response thing, or would you like to just move on to the next question?
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Okay. Just know that you won't be able to respond to the second question. Alright, and you'll answer the second question, but you won't be able to respond to the second question.
Yes.
Okay.
Furthermore, to raise awareness of the office itself, I'm gonna be proposing or setting up some forums for the undocumented students, which are one of our biggest concerns. It would be there for students to come and share experiences, hopes, raise awareness, and empower each other. And it can be confidential, and I think other people would be very welcome allies of undocumented students. And in that way, the voice is heard and people know about the office and what it can do, and really, really use it. And then a second one would be a similar forum for underrepresented minorities that are sharing these fundamental issues that then lead to the student conduct issues and everything that follows. So the forums and then the initial context.
Okay, guys, before I ask the next question, again, please hold your applause until we're done with each segment. So when we move on to the next position, that's when you give applause, because I want to move this. Okay, so the next question, which will be answered in the same order as the first one, again, it was random. What do you think are the problems, if any, with the student conduct process and its implementation since the Wheeler Hall occupation? If you had been student advocate during this period, how would you have addressed the problem? Okay, so you can come up. Okay.
Right. If I had been student advocate during the Wheeler process, I know that my running mate Katie would have definitely been hearing from me. She was part of the Wheeler Hall demonstrations, and she never heard from the student advocate. I would be mostly concerned with these kinds of issues of protesting and being out there, supporting the students, making sure that they're being protected. And I do have people that would be in the office that would help me with the legal issues, and I have lots of support and lots of resources that could be used to of course, to deal with the student conduct issues more efficiently. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Great guy.
So I think the issue of conduct reform on campus really highlights one of the changes that I would like to make at the office, which is to continue ensuring that the office advocates on a structural policy-wide basis as opposed to only on a case-by-case basis. I think I've actually taken direct action when it comes to conduct reform because I've served this past year on a task force made up of administrators, student leaders, and faculty members to work to rewrite and revise the student code of conduct. On that note, I can talk really briefly about my issues that I feel that come up with the code of conduct. I've been involved with the code of conduct for 3 years, which goes back longer than the Wheeler Hall protest. I think the Wheeler Hall protest has done an excellent job of showing how poor the conduct process is run and how many holes there are in it. But those processes problems have affected all students that have gotten involved with the issues. The main issues I have with it are consistency. No matter how flawed the code is written and how it's applied in a very inconsistent manner as it is because of lack of resources and because of just lack of making sure to follow precedent from the past. The second area is more of a philosophical manner. I think that there's a bit of a disconnect between the area of how the student is investigated and then the resolution process. You can have a very legalistic and due process-oriented manner of investigating the student in which they're consistently held to the same level of scrutiny, and then also then have a very strict and legalistic method of coming up with resolutions for them. And you can also have a very educational-oriented model in which the student is involved in the discussion, and then in the resolutions have more educational alternative forms of resolutions. Unfortunately, right now, I think students are suffering because there's a disconnect. We have a very educational, investigative procedure in which students don't have much due process rights and are always confused and led to inconsistent processes. And on the other side, they have a very legalistic and very hard-line process in which they're given resolutions and sanctions. So I would like to come to some balance in that.
Great. You still have a 1-minute response if you'd like to give it, or if you feel like you've said your piece.
Can we get a one-minute response? Ours do not get. Doesn't even go.
I'm sorry, I already told her that.
I'm Sandra Cohen's proxy, but
Okay.
I didn't get to sign up, so I don't care.
All right. Thanks for that. Okay, great. Well, next up is So, can all hands